All right, guys, let's check out the first question. So, Ria, what's confusing you here? Like everything? Everything confusing you? Like you just see the letters and thing and you just was like, nah, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a function here, f of x. Now, Ria, what's inside the brackets?
X.
Now, we could take x and replace x for anything. So you need to remember that a function takes in an x value and it gives you a y value. So let's just say you have a value for x. If you plug x into f of x, you're going to get a y value, right? Now, if you want to plot a point is made up of a what and a what value. Somebody remind me, a point. If you want to plot a graph, how are you going to figure out the points? A point is made up of a what value and a what value. Somebody tell me.
X and Y.
X and Y, right? X comma Y. Ria, you know that? Yeah or no?
Well, no, no.
Okay, you had to know that. This is like real fundamental. You can't forget this. You had to know this, right?
Okay.
So another way to write f of x is y. So Ria, this is the process. You see how we have different values for x over here?
Yeah.
We're going to put it into the function, and that's going to give us the corresponding y value. So let's do minus 2, right? So Ria, the original function was f of x is equal to 2x plus 1. But in this instance, I'm replacing x with what? What am I replacing x with?
Mm. -2.
Right. So I'm going to write f of minus 2, right? And everywhere you see x, you're going to replace it with minus 2. But you're not just going to write minus 2. You have to write the number in brackets. So you're going to say 2, open bracket, minus 2, close bracket, plus 1. So make you following so far.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just work this out now. So we have 2 by minus 2. What's 2 by minus 2? What's 2 by minus 2?
Um.
So what's a
4.
positive? What's a positive by a negative number? So we have
Is,
positive 2 here. We have positive 2 and we have negative 2. What's a positive by a negative?
is it negative?
Yes. So positive 2 by minus 2 is negative 4. Right? So you're gonna end up with negative 4 plus 1. What's negative 4 plus 1, guys? Imagine you owing somebody $4, you pay them back $1. How much you still owing them? Tell Maria, if you was owing somebody $4, right? That's minus 4. And you give them $1, right? So plus 1, how much you still owing them?
4. 3.
Right? So that'll be minus 3. So
-3.
so when x is minus 2, y or f of x is going to be minus 3. Right? Did I lose you? Or you good so far?
Yeah, good.
All right, so I want you all to do x is equal to minus 1 and tell me what's the y value for that. So to get the y value, you're going to take the x value and you're going to plug it into the function. That's what you have to do. So I'm giving you all 1 minute for that. Right? And in that 1 minute, if you could figure out more than what minus 1 would give you, sure. Right, Jada, did you attempt this exercise?
No, I'm feeling bad to say no.
You didn't do it?
It's not by choice. I did not have time.
I understand. Well, do it now. Don't stick. So
Well, I do it now.
as soon as you all get f of minus 1, tell me what you're getting. Right, so as soon as you get f of minus 1, let me know what value you're getting for y. I'm gonna move over to a new page. So I didn't hear no answers, which is a little worrisome, but I still have hope. I
The
still
answer is -1.
-1. We'll see. Let me just plug it in and see, right? So we know that f of -2 was, what was the first one again? Just remind me. F of -2 was, that was 2 by -2 plus 1, which is -4 plus 1. That was the original one, right? And that'll be equal to -3. So this first one was -3. If I want to find what y value would be when x is -1, that would be 2 by -1 plus 1. Where's 2 by -1? Somebody, again, don't leave my hanging here. What's 2 by -1?
-1.
No. 2 by -1 is -2. Think of it like
What?
this.
I
Yeah,
actually added
-2.
by
Say that again.
mistake.
Oh no, that's multiplication. So you have +2 here multiplied by -1. So you could forget about these signs. What's 2 by 1? 2 by 1 is 2. And then what's a positive by a negative? A negative. Then you can put the negative sign. So we have -2 plus 1. And -2 plus 1 is -1. So yeah, -1. Right? Jada, when x is 0, what would you get for y? Let's do that quickly. So that's going to be 2 by 0 plus 1. Well, what's that going to be, Jada?
1.
1. Quick maths. All right. When x is 1, what would that be? F of 1, that's going to be 2 by 1 plus 1. What would that be equal to? Anybody? Perseus, what is 2 by 1 plus 1?
2, and then you add it to the 1, and there's 3.
Nice. Let's do f of 2 quickly. So anywhere is the x, just replace x for 2. So 2 by 2 plus 1. 2 by 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is?
5.
Right. Okay, so Ria, let's put that into the table, right? So when x was 1, it gave us a value of 3. When x was 2, it gave us a value of 5. So let me know if you're okay with what we have here.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Nice. And remember, if you want to plot a point on a graph, you need an x value and you need a y value. Like I said, f of x, when you plug a x value into a function, f of x, you get a y value. So all these are actually the y values. So if you want to plot a point, it's x comma y. So can you tell me what this first point would be? So the x value first, then the y value. So what's the x value there?
-2.
All right, what's the y value?
-3.
All right, so we could speed run it now, right? So -1, 0, comma 1, 1, comma 3, and 2, comma 5. Jada, and that easy to plot on our graph? Yeah, no, maybe. Things ain't looking so good.
I would guess that it easy.
I would say so as well. All right, I would say so as well. So the first point I have here is -2, comma, -3. -2, comma, -3. So I'm going to put on the first point. So the first point is -2, comma, -3. And what does that mean? That means I have to move to -2 on the x-axis, and then I have to move 3 down vertically. So that would be this point over here. -2, comma, -3. That would be this point right over here. Is there anybody that did not understand how I did that? Tell me no. So -2, comma, -3. You always move on the x-axis first, then you move on the y-axis. So you have to move either left or right first, and then you either have to move up or down. So Ria, you understand that it was -2, so that meant we had to move 2 spaces to the left, and then it was -3, so we had to move 3 spaces down. Tell me if you understand that.
Yeah, I understand.
Nice. Who else we have in class here? Sahara. Sahara, it's been a while. It's been a very, very long while. How are you?
Hi, so I'm good. And
That's good.
you?
You're feeling refreshed now. You're not sick and thing again, right? You're normal.
I went in the river yesterday and I came back sick because I didn't dry my hair. So,
Oh, God. Hmm. Wait, boy. Right, so Sahara, while you're unmuted, let me plot some points, right? So the other point is minus one comma minus one.
mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna it's minus one comma minus one. So I'm going to move one space to the left, then one space up or down.
Down.
All right. So that would be right here. Yeah, agree?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The next one is zero, one. Now this one is fool people, eh? This one is trick people, plenty. So remember, X first, then Y. So Sahara, if you see a X value as zero, does that mean you're gonna move left or right?
Mm-hmm.
If X is zero, right? X corresponds.
Repeat the question, sir.
So X values are along the horizontal axis. If it's zero, does that mean you're going to move left or right?
Right.
Nah. Let me show you something, right? So let's look at the previous point. Minus 2 comma minus 3. Minus 2 comma minus 3. Check this, right? This would have meant that we had to move two spaces to the what? Two spaces to the what? It
To
was
the
minus,
left.
right? But if it's zero, are we going to move at all?
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
No, we're not going to move at all. This is tired plenty people. Plenty people. Right, Ria? Tell me if
Mm-hmm.
you're with me so far.
Yeah, with you.
All right, so 0, comma 1. What does that mean? That means you're staying here, you're not moving left or right, all right? And then you're going to move one space up. So that's going to be this point over here. All right, Joshon, how are you? You okay? I see. Right. All right. Avinash, I think you're a new student. Were you there in any previous sessions, or is your first time? Is your first class?
First class, sir.
Okay, nice. I don't know, it feel like it was in another class. I don't know why. It feel like deja vu.
Yeah, math, sir.
Okay, yes, that's where I know you're from. Right. Cool. If you're lost or anything confusing you, tell me, right? Don't be scared.
Yes, so far understanding.
Nice. Okay, Shava, you good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice. So the next point is 1 comma 3. So if it's 1 comma 3, I want somebody to tell me I had to move how much spaces to the left or to the right. Somebody tell me. If the point is 1 comma 3, what do I do? Somebody tell me. If it's 1 comma 3, how am I going to move?
You move one space to the right,
Yeah,
and then you move three spaces up.
correct.
So, in CX, yeah, that is with it different because that is how it is catch me with it.
They can't really word it much different from this.
I
Um,
don't know, the way split it on the paper, I just get really confused.
when we're doing past paper questions, you will tell me what specifically confusing you, right? You'll tell me when we're doing
Okay.
past paper questions. So we have 1 comma 3 and the last one is 2 comma 5. So Perseus, tell me, how am I going to move here? 2 comma 5. If I have a point 2 comma 5, how am I going to move?
Two spaces to the right,
Yeah?
then five spaces up.
Right. We up. Right? We're not down. So that's that. Does it look like a straight line, guys? Yeah, no, maybe. Now, it wouldn't look perfect, right? On the screen here, but if you have graph paper, it should look perfect. It's supposed to. It's supposed to. Yeah, it's supposed to pass through all the points when you actually do it on graph paper, right? Does anybody not understand how I did that? Ria, anything confusing?
No, I understand.
All right. And the last step is to write the function that defines the line. So what was the function I used that gave me this result? It was f of x is equal to, f of x was equal to what? Guys, what was the function that it gave me these points? Jada, what was the function I used to get these points? F of x was equal to what?
2x plus 1.
Right. 2x plus 1. Bam. Mm-hmm. And that's that. So Ria, after today, yeah, you had to know this, right? You had to, looking at you, you had to know this, right? After today, you should be a boss when it comes to plotting these graphs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
So
try my best.
good. Right? The last part is state the gradient and the y-intercept, right? I would have gone through this last class, but that was last week, so some of you all might have forgot. So I'm gonna run through it one more time. So this is B over here and C. They want us to find the gradient, right? They want us to find the gradient and the y-intercept. Does anybody remember what the y-intercept is? What does it sound like? Y-intercept. What does the word intercept sound like? Kishava, when you hear the word intercept, what does come to mind? Okay, awkward silence. I hear any crickets in the background. Um, Serena, when you hear the word intercept, what does come to mind?
The parts on the graph where the straight line cuts through the y-axis.
Right, that's where the line passes through the y-axis. So intercept means to cut, right? And gradient just refers to how steep a line is. Yeah, right? So the formula for gradient was y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So to find the gradient, how much points you think you need, Ria? If you're seeing y1 and y2 and then x1 and x2, how much points do you think you would need? If you want to find gradient, how much points do you think you'd need? Tell Maria, it's not a trick question. How much points?
I don't know.
Let me think about it, right, Ria? Um, and all points is made up of a x and a y value,
Yeah.
right?
So
You was gonna say the correct thing.
2 points?
Yeah, because look at that. And you see it x1, y1, and x2, y2? You see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
X1, y1 will be the first point, and then x2, y2, second point. So here it is
Oh.
now. You need 2 points to find the gradient, and these points you're choosing, it must be on the line. So it actually be quite straightforward. I want you all to pick 2 points that was on the line. So I would start you all off. This point over here, we could use this point. Just remind me, what was this point over here? Somebody tell me, what was that point? This one over here.
-2, -3.
Right? -2, -3. And I want somebody to pick our next point. This one, pick one. 1, 2, 3, or 4. It doesn't matter which point you pick it. Once it's on the line. I know that tree looking like it not on the line, but if you actually drew it on graph paper, you'll see that it is on the line. So yeah, somebody pick another point. We need 2 points. How are they moving so silently? Like, what? Sahara, you want to pick one?
Number 2.
Number 2. All right. Say no more. Oh, I want you to tell
Good.
me what are the coordinates for this point here? What are the
0,
coordinates?
1, comma 1.
0. Right. Now hear this, right? We have 2 points. Sahara, again, it don't matter, right? But I want you to pick one that you're gonna call the first point. Which one you want to call the first point? You want to call this the first point or this the first point? Doesn't matter.
-2, -3.
We're calling it the first point. All right. And you call this the
Mm-hmm.
second point. All right.
Yep.
So if that is the case, right? Remember the gradient was y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So what's the value for y2?
Mm-hmm.
According to what we just said, where's the value for y2? Check it out. Where's y2? If you look at it,
1.
y2 is 1, yeah. Minus
Mm-hmm.
y1. What is y1?
3, -3.
Right? So here it is, right? Here it is. Someone just go and write that. Raise your hand if you don't write that. I want to let it tell me how much of you guys would I write 1 minus 3?
Mm-mm.
Okay, nice. I'm glad to hear you wouldn't be caught lacking, Sahara. And Ria, what about you? Would you have wrote 1 minus 3? I just move on.
Probably.
Okay, I like the honesty, right? But Ria, let me observe something. Entity formula is y2 minus y1. So so check this, right? There is a negative sign over here. And the point we choose here, this point was minus 2 minus 3. Hence y1 is minus 3 over here. Just see now y1 is minus 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to actually put that in brackets, minus 3. So some students might just forget the negative and just put 3. And they might be, well, like, watch, minus 3 there. But no. So, Ria, tell me if you're confused. Y2 was equal to 1, and y1 was equal to minus 3. I just put it into the formula. So the formula was y2 minus y1. So I said 1 minus 3. Tell me if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
confused.
I understand.
Nice, nice, nice. Perseus, Jashan, Serena, Keshava, Avinash. Are they good? We following? Things making
Yes,
sense?
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Nice.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
I would
All right.
actually leave that whole thing blank, sir, to be honest.
Say that again.
I would have left it blank.
Oh, shucks. Wait, you pull out wasa there, boy. You pull out wasa. You know, wasa that's they got put and just leave it blank. They just leave it in. Yeah. I don't know if you get the reference. You get the reference. Don't be like wasa. If you do something, finish the job. All right, so x2 minus x1. Could somebody tell me what x2 is? What is x2? What is x2? Quick, 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 guys. Let's stall in. Let's stall in. Where's x2?
1. -2? Oh, God. 0. My bad.
Oh, right. 0 minus. What is x1? Other than Sahara, somebody else tell me. Keshava, what is x1? If you're looking at the diagram here, the graph, what is x1? What do you think x1 would be?
The -1.
That's -2.
So it's a -2.
Let me change that. Let me fix that. It's looking more like -2 now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Right? And again, you have to put that in brackets because it's a negative number. Right? So let's work this out. What is, first of all, precise. What is negative by -3? What's a negative by negative?
Uh, plus,
Right, a plus. A plus. So, you know, in Trinidad, people, let's say, a horn is not a horn unless you take it on, unless, or they say this too. You know, like, if somebody get horn, you get horn them as well. You could think of that scenario, but in maths, because a negative by negative is a positive. Now, I'm not saying, and I'm not suggesting that all you hold anybody, but I just saying, a negative and a negative in maths is make a positive. And you just see it in real life. You just see, like, if something bad happens, somebody else could do something bad, right? But in real life, they don't make a positive, eh? I'm not telling you to do anything, right? But I just saying in real life, when a negative thing has happened, somebody else could do a negative thing. Right? So a negative by negative is a positive, right? Perseus, you have that? You good?
yes, sir.
Don't make that mistake, eh? Do don't make a mistake over there. That's gonna be +3. And in the bottom, we have 0 minus minus 2. What's minus by minus 2?
Wait, so I just see the answer. That's positive 2,
Positive 2, right? Where's 1 plus 3?
4,
0 plus 2.
2,
What is 2 into 4?
2.
Lovely. So here it is, right? I want Alia to pick 2 other points and find the gradient for me and send it to me. I'm giving you all 3 minutes to do that. So what I want you all to do, and I will leave this on the screen as a little as a reference. Bruh. Right, give me a moment. Right, so let me just repeat that question one more time. So Ria, remember I said to find gradient, you need 2 points that on the line.
Yep.
Don't we have a bunch of other points that on the line?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want you all to find a gradient using 2 other points. You should get the same answer as 2. If you're not getting 2, something wrong. Yeah. So go. All right. Find the gradient. Find the gradients using 2 other points. I have a question, guys. If I want to find gradient, could I use this point over here? 5, comma 2? Yeah or no? Guys, if I have that point 5, comma 2, could I use that in finding the gradient for this line? Everybody real quiet. I don't know why everybody's so quiet for. I'm not shaming anybody. If you say yeah, if you say no, that's fine. We're gonna learn. Right? But my question is, can we use this point to find the gradient of this line? Yes or no? Perseus, yes or no? Ria, see you on mute. Tell me yes or no.
So you could just sorry, you could just tell me how you like where you pull it from again, those points.
I just asking a hypothetical question here, right? If I want to find a gradient, is it possible that I could use this point? Yes or no? Could I use that point to find a gradient? Tell me, Ria.
Yes.
Dashon, you said no. That's the correct answer. Ria, do you know why you can't use that point to find gradient?
Nope.
Ria,
I can't tell her. That was just,
let me
that
ask
just
you
open.
let me ask you a question, right? This point have anything to do with this line? Yes, this point over here, that 5, comma 2 have anything to do with this line?
No.
No, so you can't use it. Ria, didn't I say that the point you use must be on the line?
Yeah.
Is this point on this line?
Nah.
Nah, so you can't use it. I'll make a note about that. You can only use points on the line. So Joshon, we cannot use 5, comma 2 simply because it doesn't fall on the line. That's it. That's it. Nobody understand that. Keshava, you there?
Yes, sir.
Keshava, could I use this point over here in finding the gradient for this line?
No, sir.
Nah, you was paying attention. That's good. Why? Why? Why can't I use this point?
Because the 90 the straight line thing.
Exactly. It does not lie on the straight line. So that have nothing to do with the straight line. Perfect. All right, Serena, let me check where you sent. Perfect, Serena. That's excellent. Right? So I'm waiting on some answers from the rest of you. You know you're supposed to get 2. You know you're supposed to get 2. Right? If you're not getting 2, you're doing something wrong. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting, guys. Perseus, what's going on? I see you send a sad emoji. Let's try. Let me see what you do here. So you say -2, -3, and you use. Okay, never mind. That was the first one. So you use -1, -1, and you use 1, 3. Fine, that's fine. And you said, all right. So Perseus, you there?
Yes, sir.
Here what way to do, right? I noticed you making a little mistake. So you need to decide which point you're calling the first point and which point you're calling the second point. So if you're using -1, -1, and you're using 1, 3, which point do you want to call the first point? It doesn't matter, but which one you want to call the first point?
-1.
Right.
Right.
If you're saying that, you're supposed to write x1, y1. I just see you write xy. You're supposed to write x1, y1 to signify that is the first point. Understand?
Yes, sir.
I see you write a little 1 and a little 2 to the side, right? But put it as subscript by the x and the y, right? So x1, y1, and the other one x2, y2, right?
I see. You just had a little too lazy how to do that.
That would take much effort. Hey, hey boy. So 3, you really like wasa, you know? I joking. I don't mean, right? All right, so 3 minus 1, right? And then 1 minus 1, minus 1 is 1, 3 plus 1 is 4, 1 minus 1 is excellent job there, Perseus, right? I'm waiting on an answer from the majority of you. So Ria, I'm calling all you out there. Ria, Jashan, Keshava, Jada, Sahara, Avinash, Jeremiah. Okay, I see all you. I see all you sending me the question. Let me see. Yep, good job there. Good job there, Sahara. Jashan, let me see what you have. All right, Jashan. If you're doing that, you're supposed to write down the points you're using, right? If I look at that, I don't know what points to use. So Jashan,
Yes, sir. I realize that, sir.
so tell me which point to use. Yada yada write it. So which point to use? What was your first point, Jashan? What was your first point?
So, um, one G, sir.
Your first point was 1, 3. Okay, so x1, y1. So you're supposed to put, if you're doing that, you're supposed to put 1, 3, right? x1, y1, right? What was your other point? I guess then it was 2, 5,
Yes, sir.
right? Then you were supposed to say x2, y2, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But you get the correct answer. Good job. Good job. You understand anything. Right? Ria, I didn't get
Yes,
anything.
I'll do it. Was it?
Okay, nice. Right? Ria, I didn't get anything from you yet. Tell me what's going on.
So I'll go answer it now.
Okay, good. Right? Keshava, Avinash, guys. I'm waiting. All right. Avinash, let me see what you do there. And so Avinash, you see we have 1, 3 and -1, -1. Avinash? Avinash, let me know if you're on now.
Yes, I hear ya.
Okay. So which one did you call the first point and which one did you call the second point? From your working, I can't tell.
1, 3.
Right. So if 1, 3 was your first point, then above it, you're supposed to write x1, y1, right?
Yes, sir.
And what should you have above -1 then? What should you have above it?
Y1 and thing.
Nah.
Right.
Check it out, right? So 1, 3. You're calling that your first point, right? Avinash?
Yes, sir. My phone turned to the side and I'm trying to get back out from the tap to speak thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I get out.
All right. So if 1, 3 is your first point, then directly above it, you should write x1, y1. So you're gonna know which one is x1 and you're gonna know which one is y1. And for -1, -1, you should write x2, y2. So again, you're gonna know which one is x2 and you're gonna know which one is y2. Right?
Okay, sir.
From the working you did, it looked like 1, 3, like in your case. Like wait, in your case, it looked like you use 1 as x2, 3 as it's awesome. Yeah, you use 1 as x2 and you use 3 as y2, and you use -1, -1. You use this as x1 and you use this as y1. That's what it looked like it did. So
Okay.
copy that down. Right, quickly. So directly above 1, 3, you're gonna write x2, y2, and directly above -1, -1, you're gonna put x1, y1. Right, cool. Ria, let me see what you have there. All right. So Ria, you had to work on how you're writing your working, eh? I see you have x1 over y1 is equal to 3 - 1. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I'm supposed to write 3, 1. I don't know why I write minus.
Yeah, but that's
I
okay.
really don't know. I know what the book and I changed it on the book and I was like, damn. Yeah.
Right. So Ria, let's work on the working. Wow, work on the working. So Ria, you see I have x1 over y1 on thing to the side? Nah. Yeah, get rid of that. You need to write what 2 points you're using. So what 2 points did you use?
3, 1.
All right, so you need to state that. So you use wait 3, 1. 3, 1 isn't on the line. 3, 1 would be over here. This is where 3, 1 would be. You need to use our point as on the line. I think you meant to say 1, 3, not 3, 1. Aria,
Yeah.
if you're confused, we gotta clear up this now, no, like no. So you
Well,
understand. So now the working you did is wrong, eh? Because 3 - 1 is 2 and -1. -1 is -2. So if you did that, you'd get -1. So that's not correct. We gotta work on that. So Ria, I want you to pick 2 points on the graph other than the ones I have right now. Pick 2 points. By the way, if you all are done and you're not doing anything, I want Alia to open up the functions worksheet and continue with the questions, right? Continue with the questions. Don't just wait around. Continue with it. Yeah. So Ria, I want you to pick 2 points other than -2, -3, and 0, 1.
um,
So let's do it together. I wait to call off this point for me. What's that point? What's that point over there?
which one?
This one over here. Read off that point for me. So it's x first and y. I draw it kind of bad, but it really supposed to be 2, comma,
2, 5.
right? 2, 5, 2. And tell me another point that's on the line. What's another point that's on the line?
Um,
They have 2 other points that we didn't use yet. Read off one for me,
-1, -1.
right? What about this point here? Read off this point for me. If you wanted to read off this point, how would you say that? So
Um,
is X first, then Y. So you're gonna read off what's on the X axis
so
first.
one tree.
Yeah, 1, 3. Nice. Let me use that one, 3. Actually, no, we should use the negative so you could get practice with that. So this point here would be -1, comma -1. So you understand how I got the points, yeah?
Yeah.
So we're gonna write that over here. So we decided to use 2, comma 5, and we decided to use -1, comma -1. Now, which one do you want to call the first point? Which one?
Um,
Doesn't matter
X1.
which one. You want to call this the first point?
Well, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
So if this is the first point, then I'm going to write X what? If it's the first
X
X1, and if this is the first point, this will be Y what?
Y1.
Right? And if you call this the second point, this would be X what?
X2.
And this will be Y2. Right.
Y2.
Jada, I still didn't get anything from you, know. Ah, Jada, what going on there? Right? So you remember what the formula for gradient is? It was Y2 minus what? Area. Y2 minus
Y2 minus Y1
all over.
or over X2 minus X1.
Nice. So now we're just gonna substitute. What is Y2?
5.
Right, I'm gonna put the minus sign here. And what's Y1?
-1.
Right, you have to put the -1 in brackets. Be honest with me, is that confusing you?
No.
No? Okay. And then we have X2. What is X2?
2
Minus, right? Because
minus
it's in the formula, right? What next?
minus 1 in brackets.
Right. What is 5? So minus by minus is a plus. So they're gonna turn to 5 plus 1.
6.
And
Oh,
in the denominator, they're gonna turn to what? 2.
3.
Right? What is
Right.
6 over
Yeah.
3?
2 plus 1.
And what is 6 over 3?
2.
Yeah. You thoroughly understand it now?
Yeah.
Nice. Jada, you there? I think you're the only person I didn't get something from. So I need to know what's going on. Okay, the awkward silence ensues. Anybody else hear any cricket in the backgrounds? I hear any crickets real loud. All right, so we nearly finished with this question, right? So we have the gradient. So the gradient for this graph, the gradient, right? The gradient, another way to write the gradient, just use common M. It's not capital M, guys. The gradient is common M. So the gradient here is 2, and the y-intercept, right? And we call the y-intercept common C. Tell me, guys, if the y-intercept is where the graph cut in the y-axis, where is the graph cut in the y-axis? Somebody tell me. Where is the graph cut in the y-axis? At what value? Look at the graph and tell me. Where is the line cut in the y-axis?
At 1.
At 1, right? Right here. Right here. So I would say C is equal to 1. And that's it for the question. Yeah. Right? Is everybody okay with me moving on?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Ria, you good?
Yeah, good. That's a big question, though.
So that again, that's a big question.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, I hope you're good. So here what? I am going to do question 9, right? Question 10 question 10. It might be a little bit confusing, right? I want to do question 9 and I want to move on to section 4. I will do question 10 and send it to you all for homework, but I just want all you to get the main idea. I want to get the main idea, and I want to kind of wrap up with functions. So we basically finished with functions, right? We looked at everything you need to know for functions, and we could start past papers. So hopefully at the end of today, we will start our past paper. Yeah. Right. So Ria, when you see this question, do you think it's any different from the previous question we did? Tell me, Ria. Question 9.
Um,
Do you think it's very different or kind of the same gist?
kind of the same.
Right, kind of the same. So let's attack it. All right. So by now you get the idea, right? You think you'll be able to fill out the table?
I will try my best.
Okay, cool. I'm going to do the first one with you guys. So I'm going to do when x is 4. So for that one, we're going to say f of 4, and f of 4, that would be equal to, in brackets, 4, then squared, minus 2, in brackets, 4, minus 3. For anybody that's very confused, look at the function. The function was x squared minus 2x minus 3. And we are replacing x with 4. So anywhere you see x, you're going to write 4. So if I work that out, 4 squared is going to be 16, minus 2 by positive 4. 2 by 4 is 8, minus by positive is negative. So that's going to be negative 8 minus 3. Right? 16 minus 8 is 8. 8 minus 3 is 5. So I'm going to write 5 here. Was there anybody that was lost during that process? Did I lose anybody in that process? Keshava, I lose you? Avinash?
No, sir.
Nah? Okay. Glad to hear we okay. Ria, easy or hard?
Easy for now.
Nice. So I'm giving all you 3 minutes. See how much you can do in 3 minutes. Right? I want you all to fill out the table, send me a picture, and if you could start plotting the graph on graph paper. If you have graph paper, that is. You should have graph paper. If all is struggling, let me know, right? But I think we're in safe territory right now. Everything should be okay. Sahara, you're getting through easily with everything.
Yes, sir.
Nice. I think our Lego start to get fried when we doing the inverse functions. We still have to do composite functions. We'll do that today. And as the last thing for functions. Mhm. So after functions, I'm gonna move on to coordinate geometry. Basically, things we was doing already, like gradient and y-intercept, all as coordinate geometry. So you wouldn't be entirely lost. And after that, quadratics. That's the plan. Okay, so the time is up. Were you all able to fill out the table? My God, that rhyme. As the next M&M, you know. Yeah, that rhyme. But did any of you all complete the table? Let me know. Sahara, did you complete the table?
No, sir.
Nah? All right. By the way, any of all it Israel be on TikTok and thing? I have a question. Anybody just be on TikTok plenty?
Yes, sir.
Procrastinating? Sahara, you just be on TikTok plenty?
Yes, sir. I'm following you.
Okay, okay, nice. Big up you. I wanted somebody to explain to me what is 6-7 is about. What is this 6-7 about? I'm curious.
I think we're the wrong generation.
It from a song, sir.
Which song?
What is it, sir?
You go send me this song. Yeah. Keep hearing that. And then I hearing this soda pop thing. I don't know if all you know about this soda pop thing. I think it was from like this Demon Hunter or something, this K-pop movie. I think it was. I'm not sure. If it have anybody like that like K-pop and I slaughter in it, I'm sorry. All right, let me just check what you guys did. Perseus, let me see what you have here, right? So you have -1 squared. You get Perseus. I see now a bit of a problem.
So I have B for the negative sign, okay?
I guess so. So okay, you have -1 squared. Let me ask you what squared means, right? So Perseus, if I ask you what 5 squared was, what would you tell me? If I asked you what 5 squared was, what would you tell me?
25.
Wouldn't that be 5 by 5?
Yes.
If I ask you what is 7 squared, wouldn't you tell me 7 by 7?
Yes.
If I ask you what is -1 squared, wouldn't you tell me -1 by -1? Or
Um,
I lost it there. Come if
very much.
I lost it there.
Yes.
Okay. If I have 9 squared, what I'll be equal to?
81.
Right, which is squared means you're multiplying a number by itself, right? So if you have 9 squared, 9 by 9. So I want to know what confusing you, because check it out. You understand this concept. Let me try something like 16 squared. Wouldn't 16 squared just mean 16 by 16? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So
It does seem power.
if I have a number
Okay.
and the number is -1, right? And I'm squaring -1, wouldn't that mean I'm multiplying -1 by itself?
Yes, sir.
So you understand all of this, right? This makes perfect sense. If you see squared, you're multiplying a number by itself. This is the same thing. The only difference is the number there is -1.
Can I mean this positive one, sir?
Yeah, it's supposed to be +1 because -1 by -1 is +1. So for the first one, it's supposed to be -1 squared is 1. So you're supposed to get 1. And then you see how you have -2 by -1. So
Yes.
yes, anytime you see a bracket like that, it means to multiply. I think that's what giving you trouble. So if you have -2 -1, that means the same thing as -2 by -1. A negative by negative is a plus. So for the first one, it's supposed to be 1, right? Then +2, then -3. So you go fix up that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
I just
Perseus,
hit the negative.
let me just correct it one time on the screen. So if we want to figure out, if we want to put -1 into the function, that's going to be open bracket -1 squared -2, one bracket -1 -3. Again, what does -1 squared mean?
Practically multiplying the number by itself
Right, so we multiplying -1
by -1.
and that'll be +1, right? Then we have -2 by -1, and negative by negative is a right? So 2 by 1 is 2. Cool. Then minus 3. Right. Now let me show you how to proceed from here. So Priscilla, you have 1 plus 2 minus 3. And we could work out 1 plus 2 very easily.
Yes, sir.
Where's 1 plus 2?
3.
Where's 3 minus 3?
0.
Bam, that's it.
So you see a negative. Me and a negative might have a lot of problems.
I like you. You're staying away from your negativity. You seem like a positive person. All right. Let me give you
I
one to
guess
try.
So,
Yeah, Joshua, tell me.
so I never do it like how you do it, and so but I'll send it the book on how I do it.
Did you say 2 by minus 3? 2 minus 3, that'll be minus 1, and minus 1. 1 plus minus 1 is 0. You do like that? Or you do it differently?
So what I do, sir, was I had do negative one multiply by negative one, sir. By one, sir. I have one, sir, and then after, sir, I do 2 by negative one, sir, and I get negative 2, sir, and I put it in brackets, sir, and then I add it, sir. And I will end up to 3, sir.
It sounds like you're doing the same thing I doing, but just you're doing the working more drawn out. So this is fine, right? So if you have minus 1 squared, that would mean minus 1 by minus 1, right? Then minus 2 by minus 1, that would mean minus 2, right? By minus 1, minus 3. All of that is the same thing I have here. That's the same thing I have here. Let me check what I have. So yeah, Josh, is more or less the same thing. Is the same thing. Because watch, Josh, and just said we doing the same thing, Minus 1 squared. It wouldn't minus 1 squared mean minus 1 by minus 1.
Yes, sir.
And that's why you get the 1 in the next line.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we do the same thing. We do the same thing. And then minus by minus is plus, so plus 2, right? Same thing, minus 3. But you say we do something different. I'm not seeing what we do different.
Also, how I put the negative 2 in brackets, I thought, yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Multiplication is commutative. Because watch, Josh, you're multiplying minus 2 by minus 1. If you swap the order, that wouldn't change anything. So you're fine. Let me check out the orders, right? Now, before we move on, those of you guys with negative problems, negative problems. You know what I should say? I should say negative bank accounts. That sounds like a more real problem we have. Yeah, I'm suffering from that. I had to get my money up to come off the
I
street.
said, yeah, probably.
I said again,
No negative bank account fee.
no negative what?
No negative bank accounts, sir. No negative bank accounts. Nah.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that negative bank account. If any earlier know the law, it have this law on my TikTok page now, where this joke about being on the streets and being homeless. Yeah, it's in it's in all my videos. Like it's like a common law. It's like a trend. So we aim is to escape that. So no negative bank account. Right? So Perseus, let's handle this. So everywhere you see x, you're gonna write minus 2. You're gonna write minus 2 squared, minus 2, minus 2, minus 3. Did that confuse you? I
Yeah,
just
I think I know where I get the problem. Like where I see the takeaway sign as in negative, like right in the middle between the two negatives, right? I think that is where the problem starts.
even if you've seen it like that, it shouldn't be an issue because watch this, right, Perseus? So let me leave the negative sign there, right? Then say 2 by minus 2. Where's 2 by minus 2? What is 2 times minus 2? So was a positive by negative?
Like my brain just went blank.
If you left the negative sign on the outside and you just said 2 by minus 2, you get minus 4. And then minus 1 minus 4 is 4. No matter how you do it, if you do it, if you don't make any mistakes, you'll arrive at the correct answer. Right? Right? So Perseus, what is minus 2 squared? What is minus 2 squared?
Positive 4.
Right? What is negative 2 times negative 2? You could look at it in parts. What is a negative by negative?
Positive
Put on a plus sign. What is 2 by 2?
4.
Right. That confuse you?
No, sir.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yes.
Then we have 8 minus 3, which is 5. So I hope all you're okay with the negatives. Right? Let me just fill out this thing fast because we're taking some time. Right? So that's gonna be 0 squared minus 2 by 0 minus 3. 0 by anything is 0. It's gonna be 0. It's gonna be 0 minus 3. 0 minus 0 is 0. So you end up with minus 3. Then we're gonna find f of 1. That's gonna be 1 squared minus 2 by 1 minus 3. 1 by 1 is 1. Minus 2 by 1 is minus 2 minus 3, right? Minus 2 minus 3 is what, Perseus? What is that? What is minus 2 minus 3? Could somebody tell me what minus 2 minus 3 is? Perseus, are you tempted to say positive 6?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Perseus, we have to be able to distinguish between multiplication and addition. So, Perseus, over here, isn't there a bracket?
Yes, sir.
If you see a bracket, it means to multiply. Over here, see any brackets?
No, sir.
Mm-mm. So that just simply means it continuously taken away. So imagine you take $2 and then you take $3 again. How much money you take?
1.
You know, if you
Wait.
take $2 from if you take $2 from a person and then you take $3 again, how much money you take altogether?
$5.
Yes, negative 5. Now, if it had negative 2 and minus 3 was in brackets, that would have mean to multiply. But you see how we don't have any brackets and it's just negative 2, negative 3?
Yes,
That,
sir.
that's just minus it. I feel like that confusing you. Oh, you're good.
Yeah, yeah, not now. Just like, practice on it. For sure,
Okay,
I'll get.
tell me, what is negative 1 minus 7?
Like, that'll be positive.
No, nah. You seeing
Yeah.
that? Are you seeing
Yeah,
that
so
brackets?
I don't know, this negative thing is a headache. So,
Don't worry, it's not that deep. You'll get through. Are you seeing any brackets over here?
no, so.
So it have no multiplication, right? No multiplication.
Last just seen like adding to it.
So yeah, anytime you see something like this, just add the numbers and write back a negative sign. So Perseus, you see how we have negative 1, negative 7? That'll be 8.
Yes.
Go back a minus sign. That's simply it. And in concept, you can think of it like this from a common sense perspective. If you take $1 and you take $7 again, how much money you take?
Repeat, sir.
I was telling you the common sense concept. Imagine you took or you borrowed $1 and then you borrowed $7 on top of that dollar. How much money you borrow?
$8.
And if you borrow money, doesn't that mean you gotta pay it back?
Yeah, but I don't think I pay back that person. So
Wow. Maybe that's why you don't understand negativity. Maybe that's why you don't understand negative. Because per se, I saying that negative comes like when you owe somebody or when you take. So negative 1, negative 7 means that you take away 1 and you take away 7. So altogether you take away 8. Right? So cool. We understand F0, F1, right? F1 would be 1 minus 5. 1 minus 5 would be minus 4. Right? In the interest of time, let me just fill this table in fast. minus 3. All right. What did you all get for 2? Could somebody tell me what you got for 2? You should have got before minus 4 is 0. Did you all get minus 3? Did anybody get minus 3 when you plug in 2? Jada, you got minus 3?
Yes, I did.
Okay. When you plug in 3, what did you get? So that'll be 3 squared, that'll be 9. 9 minus 6. 9 minus 6 is 3. 3 minus 3 is, did you get 0?
Yes, I did.
Okay, nice. So Ria, on a scale to 1 to 10, how confused are you, if confused at all?
That's all good.
Say good. Okay. So I want Alice to tell me the points fast. The first point is going to be what? 0, comma, what's it? Remember x first and y. This is x, this is y. So the first one will be minus 1, comma 0. What's the next one? Tell Maria.
0 minus 3.
Right? Speed. Next one.
1 minus 4. 2
Mm-hmm.
minus 3. And 3, 0. And 1, 5.
Now 4, 5.
4, 5, sorry.
Yeah. Right. So guys, it looking complicated, but I could assure you it's not that deep. You just put button points and then you just sketching it. I promise, like, it really not that hard. Everything in math is only look hard, you know. So Josh on it there. Josh on, I'm gonna hear him now. Okay, Keshava, you hear him now?
What did you say, sir?
Okay, I'm not seeing Keshava. Avinash, you in class? Yeah, Joshua, I was calling you, right? So Joshua, the first point is minus 1, comma 0. Minus 1, comma 0. So tell me how I would move. If my first point is minus 1, comma 0, how would I move? I starting off here. How am I gonna move? Tell me, Joshua. Am I going to move to the left, to the right? Or what am I gonna do?
You're moving to the left.
How much space is to the left?
1, sir.
And am I going to move up or down?
No, sir.
No, I'm not gonna move up or down because the y value was 0. Right? So the first point is just going to be minus 1, 0 is over here. All right, Joshua. The next point is 0, comma, minus 3. I'll let somebody else do that. Right? Sahara, you there?
Yes, sir.
Sahara, we're starting off at the origin. Should I move left or right?
No, I should move down
I shouldn't move left or right. Why shouldn't I move left or right?
because it is 0, negative 0, 3, negative 3.
All right. Ria,
And
yeah, it's 0, right? If it's 0, I mean we're gonna stay there. And
Yeah.
yeah. So
yes,
we stay in at the origin, right? So we're not moving left or right, but they say in minus 3, so we had to move 3 down. So this other point is going to be right here. The other point is 1, comma, minus 4. To speed up things, I'll just put it in one time. 1, comma, minus 4 will be right here. Then we have 2, comma, minus 3. Then we have 3, 0, which is right here. Then we have 4, 5. Okay. All right, so I put down all the points. Let me know if any of you are confused by what I did. Anybody confused? Based on the silence, I'm going to assume nobody is confused. So I'm asking you this. Does this look like a straight line or does it look like a curve?
A curve.
It looking like a curve. So we're just gonna connect the dots. It's that simple. Tell me earlier. It's very simple, right? We're just gonna connect the dots. Yeah. Do you all understand how I drew the graph for that? I just connect the dots, right? That's all I do. And now we'll have to put the function that gave us that graph. So what was the function that gave us that graph? F of x was equal to what? Jada, what was the function that gave us that graph? It was x squared. Okay, I hear in real silence. Oh, I hear.
X squared minus 2x minus 3.
Okay, nice. So that's the graph done there. Nice. Then they're asking us to figure out the turning point, the axis of symmetry, and the x-intercepts. It sounds hard, but believe me, it's real simple. Ria, does it sound hard? Like the turning point, the axis of symmetry? Be honest with me. That's something like gibberish, ain't?
Yeah, it's a little confusing.
I understand. Right. Joshua, let me know if you're okay with everything so far.
Yes, I got to okay everything.
Cool. Right. So we're gonna start off with the turning point. When I hear turning point, what are you thinking about? Turning point. Somebody, if when you hear that, when you hear turning point, what do you think of? I don't know why I'll being so mean to me today. Are they not talking? Sahara, when you hear turning point, what are you thinking about? Turning point.
When something keeps happening,
When something changes.
then something.
Say that again.
When something turns,
When something turns.
yeah,
Yeah. Turning name. So like Sahara, if somebody says that at that point in my life was a turning point, what do you think they mean?
change.
Yeah, it changed. It changed. Right? Joshua, I saw you raised your hand.
So like so the turning point is like where like the lines on the graph would turn on so like you change directions
Yeah,
going actually.
yeah, yeah. That's what I want to hear. So you all understood how we found gradient of a line. Now let me ask you something, right? The gradient of a line, does it change or do you all think it's constant? What do you all
Constant.
Joshua said it's constant, Jada, Ria, Sahara, what do you all think?
Yeah.
Okay. It's constant, right? So this gradient is constant over here. Do you think that the gradient for here is constant?
No.
No, gradient is steepness, right? You can think of gradient as you driving along a road. If it's a perfectly flat road, a horizontal road, the gradient is zero. If it's starting to get steep, right, it would have a larger gradient, right? So this would be a constant gradient. But you see this curve? That wouldn't be a constant gradient. So gradient is just a measure of how steep something is at a point. So Ria, would you say that the gradient is the same everywhere over here? Imagine driving down this path. Imagine you're in a car and you're driving. Would you experience the same steepness everywhere?
No.
No. Over here, you'll be going down, and over here, you're gonna kind of stop, and over here, you're gonna have to put real gas to go up that. So is it the same steepness everywhere?
Nah.
Nah. But over here, and to understand, if you were to drive and nothing changing over here, like the angle of incline is the same throughout.
Yeah, it's like one straight road.
Yeah, exactly. But this kind of this curving, right? So let me make something make sense. So to find the gradient of a curve, you would draw a tangent to a point, and you would find the gradient of that line. Let me explain what I'm talking about. So, Ria, remember how I just said the gradient of a curve is never the same, right? It always changes. Remember I just said that?
Yeah.
If I wanted to find the gradient for this point, I would draw a tangent to that point, and I would read off 2 points, and I would find the gradient. And all you should know is a tangent, right? We looked at it in circles. A tangent is a line that grazes a point. It only cuts the point one time. And from this class, you should have been able to find gradient. So, cool. Do you all know what a positive and a negative gradient would be? Tell me, yeah or no? A positive and a negative gradient. Do you all know what it looks like? Somebody tell me, yeah or no? I take it as I know. Ria, just out of intuition, which one do you think is a positive gradient?
The one on the left?
You think this is a positive gradient?
Yeah.
Nah, that's a negative gradient. And this is a positive gradient. When I do coordinate geometry, I'll explain it a little more in a little more detail. Right? Right. So Ria, I'm gonna show you why we just call this point the turning point. By the way, guys, the answer for the first question, the turning point, is this point over here. All right, this is the turning point. And the turning point would be 1, comma, minus 4. So Ria, and you can imagine if you're in a car, right, and you're driving, all here, like gravity causing you to accelerate. When you reach this point now, it kind of stationary. And then when you're going up now, you gotta rail per gas. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, and at this point, things change. Think about it. If you were in a car and you were driving, and this section of the road will be completely different from this section of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we call this a turning point. Now, mathematically, the reason why we call it a turning point is because over here, the gradient is negative, and the gradient would tend to 0. So the gradient at the turning point is 0. And what do you all think the gradient on the other side is? Make a guess. So if the gradient for this section is negative, and then it reaches 0 over here because it's completely flat, what do you all think the gradient for here would be? So negative 0, what else? Sahara, what do you think the gradient for this part of the graph would be? Sahara?
So I don't know.
Okay, Sahara, think of a number line, right? So the gradient all here, all everywhere over there is negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you reach this point, the gradient is 0. So what was happening here? It starts off negative and it went to 0. It was increasing or decreasing?
Decreasing.
I hear why
Decreasing.
it was increasing. Let me explain why. If it was negative, and to go from a negative number to 0, we had to increase.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. If you want to go from
Yes,
negative
sir.
5 to 0, we had to do with negative 5 to get 0. You're gonna take away 5, you're gonna add 5. That's
Add
what
5.
right. So the gradient, like this part over here, the gradient is increasing. So when it reaches 0, it's gonna continue to increase. And if it go past 0, it's gonna be a positive or negative number.
Positive.
Right. So the gradient for this section is negative. The gradient for this section is 0, and the gradient continues to increase. So the gradient for this portion is positive. So we call this point the turning point because it's the point where the gradient of the graph changes. So the gradient is negative here and it's positive over here. So at this point, the gradient would start to change. Sahara, you kind of understand what's going on?
Yes.
Right. I'll try to write this easier. Right. So negative gradient, positive gradient. So Ria, if gradient is how steep something is, do you think you understand why I'm calling this one over here 0? Wait. Do you think you understand why I'm calling this 0? Because if gradient is how steep something is, and that perfectly horizontal road would not be would be like whatever steepness as 0.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So right. So the turning point is just the point in the middle of the graph. That's simply it. You can think of it like that. If I give you all another curve like this, would everybody agree that the turning point would be over here? Do you all agree with me? Yeah or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ria, imagine if you was driving and this part of the road and this part of the road would be completely different.
Yep.
Yeah. It come like you're climbing up a hill. And when you reach the top of the hill, you can kind of rest.
Mm-hmm.
But if you when you start to walk in this direction and gravity gonna like force it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the point here is where the gradient would start to change. Right? This is the turning point. That marks the point where it changes. Cool. The axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry is just simply a line that splits the curve in half. Now, you're not seeing it, but if I were to complete the graph, it would look like that. And so the axis of symmetry is just a line that has cut something in half and mirror it. Take, for instance, if I had this square over here, would everybody agree that this would be an axis of symmetry? Because it cuts in the square in half and then mirroring the halves. Tell me if I'm confused by that. If I had that square over there and I cut it like that, wouldn't I have two equal halves?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So for this, all you're going to do is you're just going to draw a line that passes through the turning point. That's it. Right? And this equation would be what? Do you all know what that equation for that line would be? Yeah or no? Tell me. This line I just drew over here. Do you all know what the equation for it would be?
No, sir.
Let me give a little hint, right? If I draw this line passes through what value? Check it out. I'm gonna draw the line again. What value is it passing through? So it's passing through what axis? Sahara. This line over here is cutting on what axis?
Y-axis. X-axis.
Right. It's passing through what on the x-axis?
D1.
So the equation for that line is just simply x is equal to 1. Did you think it was gonna be that easy?
No, sir.
Yeah, very easy, right? Let me give you another graph, right? Let's just say we had a curve, a quadratic curve that looked like this. And everybody could agree that if I wanted to draw the axis of symmetry, wouldn't it be directly in the center? If you're confused by this, tell me now. Jada, do you understand why I would draw a line like that to find the axis of symmetry?
I think so, yes.
Okay, so Jada, I know standard 5 was a long time ago, right? But entering standard 5, well, all of us, when we was in standard 5, and you had to like draw the axis of symmetry for shapes. Remember that?
That was like when you fold it in half and shit, and
Language. Is that right?
sorry. When you fold it in half and it makes like a straight cut down the
Yeah.
half and that kind of stuff.
Take for instance this heart over here. Wouldn't the if I wanted to divide this perfectly in half, so it'd be mirrored images of each other, wouldn't I cut it in half?
Yes.
Yeah. And this is the same thing over here. Watch. If I draw a line like that, wouldn't it reflect it?
Yes.
If I draw a line if I draw a line down a heart like that, it's a reflection. So that's the basic concept of it. Anjira, you understood that this line was passing through 1 on the x-axis, so I just simply say x is equal to 1. Understand?
Yes.
Yeah, not that hard. Right, so the turning point, let me just write down everything. What was the turning point, guys? What was the point in which the gradient changed? Somebody remind me. What was the turning point? What was the turning point? Why are you so quiet tonight for? Like,
1 negative 4.
yeah, 1 negative 4, right? All right, 1 negative 4. And Ria, what was the line that kind of cut the graph in half?
X equals to 1.
Right, I know you're not seeing it again. If I were to draw the graph, you would be able to see it, right? That line literally cutting the curve in half. So it'll be mirrored. So this would be x is equal to 1. X is equal to 1. And the x-intercepts. Guys, if the y-intercept is where the graph cut on the y-axis, what do you think the x-intercept will be? Let me hear that one. So guys, if y-intercept is where the graph cut on the y-axis, what do you all think x-intercept would mean?
Where the graph cut in the x axis.
Yeah, that's it. So, Ria, where is the curve cutting the x-axis?
Negative 1, negative 1.
Nah. -1 is one of the answers, right? And where else is it cutting the x-axis?
0, 3?
You mean 30.
3, 0. Yeah.
Yeah. So when they ask you for x-intercept, right? It would be, so this would be, this would be -1, 0, and this would be 3, 0. Understand? Some of you understand that. Ria,
Sorry, sir, I didn't hear you.
you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Right. So for the x-intercept, we would say x is equal to 1, or x is equal to -1, and x is equal to what?
3, 0.
Right. Now, you have to be careful, right? If they ask you for x-intercept values, you would write this. Right? You would write x is equal to -1 and x is equal to 3. But Ria, in this question, what are they asking us for? They're asking us to do x-intercepts. And if they're asking you for the x-intercept, then they want a point. So at x is equal to -1, what would our point be? Right? What would this point over here be? Remind me, what was our point?
0, 1. 0, negative 1.
Not 0. Remember, you just say the x value first, then the y value,
Oh, yeah, right. -1, 0.
right? So this is -1, comma 0, and the other one will be,
Um,
so it passed through x is equal to 3, which would have meant the x value is 3 and the y value is, if it on the x-axis, the y value will always be what? What do you think? If something is on the x-axis itself.
0?
Yeah. Because I'm asking a question. If you're on the x-axis, did you move up or down?
No.
No. So y value is 0. If that makes sense. So
Okay, yeah.
if they ask you for the x-intercepts, this we're gonna give them. If they ask you for the value of the x-intercepts, you're just gonna state the value. So if they ask you for the value of the x-intercepts, you are going to say x is equal to -1 and x is equal to 3. But since it asks us for the x-intercept, you want to say the exact point. Right, so is everybody okay with this question? Let me know. Are you all okay with this question?
Yeah.
Only here in Ria, Jashon, Jada, Sahara, Avinash, Praseya, Serena, Jeremiah. What going on, guys?
All good.
Pretty good, sir.
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. Let me move on to inverse functions now. All right. This question's too simple, boy. Okay. I just want to do a quick recap on inverse functions, and then we're going to do one question on that. And I'm going to move on to composite functions, which is the last thing we have to do on functions, right? So let me just do a quick recap on the inverse function, the inverse function. Recap of. So guys, remind me, f of x would map what onto what? This is a recap from last class, right? Could you all remember what a regular function does do? A regular function does map what onto what? Think of the mapping diagram. Ria, if this confusing you, think about where you just put into a function and where you just get out. So f of x maps what onto what? Guys, where does put into a function?
A value
A what value?
and a x value and
Right?
turn it into y.
Right. So f of x maps x onto y. Right? The inverse function would do the opposite, like the name suggests. So the inverse function maps what onto what? What do you think?
Y onto x.
Right. It just does the opposite. Just does the opposite. So let's just do a quick example, right? Let's just say we had a function f of x is equal to 9x plus 3. To find the, and I'm gonna kind of speed through this, because we did it last class. To find the inverse function for this, my first step is going to be let f of x be equal to y. My first step. So I'm going to say y is equal to 9x plus 3. Is anybody confused as yet? Is anybody confused? So we want to find for the inverse function. Find the How come it's so quiet tonight? I don't know what's in the air. All right. So if you want to look back on your last notes, it should be there. We went through a couple of examples, right? Finding the inverse function. And these were the steps I would have made you all copy down. So we're just doing that back. Right. So I need somebody to do this with me on the board. I know it looking scary, but again, it's not that deep. So do we have any brave volunteers? Or should I say helpless victim? Because if nobody volunteers, I gotta call somebody. Hmm. Perseus, it kind of sound like you want to volunteer. I hear it.
What do you
Like
mean?
it look like you're excited. Like I hear and is like, pick me, pick
No,
me, pick me. But the
no,
mic, but
what
the
do
mic,
you
but the mic was
mean?
giving some trouble now. The mic was giving some trouble, so I couldn't hear. But I hear you. Don't worry.
So you're on my case. Alright.
All right. So Louis, I promise it's not that hard, right? Perseus, did I ever lie to you?
Nah, sir.
No, I promise it's not that hard, right?
Compared to other teachers, nah.
Say that again.
Compared to other teachers, nah, you didn't like.
Okay, that's good. I don't want to tell any lies. If something is hard, I will tell you. Like right now, this is why I have to. This is why I have to. I have to do this. This kind of maths, and I wouldn't lie. Kind of a little hard. Like I would call this a little hard, but the stuff we're doing right now in class, I wouldn't call that hard, right? So if we come across anything that hard, I'll tell you. So Perseus, do you understand the first step? We want to find the inverse function for f of x. So the first thing I'm going to say is let f of x be y. Does that confuse you?
Not really, sir.
Okay, and Perseus, and when you plug x into a function, where does get? When you plug the x value into a function, where does get out of it? At what value?
Why?
Right, so that's why I'm saying let f of x be y, right? So y is equal to 9x plus 3. Cool. The next step, could you remember the next step? Were you there for the previous class?
Yes, sir. I think you have to swap X and Y.
Right, yeah, let's swap x and y. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's swap x and y.
Yeah, you had a X and Y.
Look to one boy. To one, good night. What's your plan?
Plan. I just crashing in here, like,
Okay.
but I can still do stuff by the side.
All right. Tavon, everybody real quiet tonight, boy. I don't know what. I don't know why. I got hearing real crickets chirping in the background.
You're probably saving up the energy for Friday.
Friday. It's like Lime.
Yeah, tomorrow. You know,
Are they going Lime Friday? You see what I mean, Tavon? Like everybody real quiet. I don't know what's going on today. It's like real quiet. It's more unusual. Josh, you outside Friday? Or you inside doing work?
Ways why everybody inside. Exam coming up, power.
Coursework.
Ways.
But plenty people here repeating. So like they should be free. Per se, you're inside Friday or you're outside.
So I always inside.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna swap X and Y. If I swap X and Y, everywhere I see Y, I'm gonna write a X. Everywhere I see Y, why anywhere you see a Y, write a X. Anywhere you see a X, write a Y. So that's gonna be X is equal to 9Y plus 3. So you understand that, right, Perseus?
Yes, sir.
Cool. The next step. What's the next step?
Make Y the subject
Right,
of the
make Y the
function.
subject. Now, anytime you want to make something the subject, preferably where should it be? On the right hand side or on the left hand side? If you want to make something the subject, what do you think? Like if I had x plus 5 is equal to 0 and I wanted to find for x, where do I want x?
Was it the right hand side?
No, the left-hand side. X,
Okay.
watch.
That confused me a little bit.
Perseus, and when you're solving for something, and it is always be on the left-hand side, think about it. Well, let me give you some examples of what I'm talking about, right? When we wanted to solve for f of minus 1, and f of minus 1 was here, and the answer was over here,
Yes, sir.
right? So typically, if you're trying to find for something, what you're trying to find for should be on the left-hand side. It's easier to work with like that, right? So we want to find for y, or the fancy way to say it is make y the subject. Cool. And then make y the subject. So here what, right, Perseus? If we want to make y the subject, then typically I would want y on the left-hand side. So what I'm allowed to do is I'm allowed to do a switcheroo. I'm allowed to flip both sides. If I flip both sides, I'll end up with 9y plus 3 is equal to x. Thelma, did that confuse you?
No, sir.
Okay, Ria, I losing you. You're good so far.
I got to.
Okay, good. Right.
Yeah.
So we have y right where we want it. Right? Right where we want it. What shouldn't be on this side though? If I want to find y, I want to find for y. Y should be the only thing on the left-hand side. What shouldn't be over here? I just
The
want to say the
tree.
right hand. The tree shouldn't be over there, right? So we should move across that tree. If I move across positive 3, what is that going to turn to?
A negative.
Going to turn to negative 3. So we're going to end up with 9y is equal, I'm going to write back the x, and then I'm going to put negative 3. You all with me so far?
Yes,
Let me
sir.
all right. What shouldn't we still have something that don't belong over there though? What doesn't belong over there?
The 9.
Right. Have two ways you could think about this. You could think about it as you're moving across the 9. Now, since this is 9 multiplied by y, if I move across that, that multiply gonna turn to what? So Perseus, look at what happened, right? This positive 3 turns to negative 3, the opposite operation. So it's 9 multiplied by y. What's the opposite of multiplied by 9?
Vision.
Right. So if you move across the 9, that'll turn to x minus 3 over 9. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Now that's one way you could think about it. Another way you could think about it is you want to find for y, say you would just divide both sides by 9 so that the 9 would cancel off on the left-hand side to leave you with y. So everybody okay? Up to this point, Jashon, Priya, Serena, Avinash, Jeremiah, you guys good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. The next thing we're going to do is, so we have it here, right? We have it here. The last thing you're going to do, right, Perseus, you're going to replace y with the inverse notation. Cool. So Perseus, and the original function was f of x.
Yes, sir.
So now we're going to write, what the hell? I'm pretty sure I spelled notation correct. I'm pretty sure I spelled it correct. Good notes just wilding. Trying to make me look bad here. All right, so Perseus, the original function was f of x. So if I want to replace y with the inverse notation, I'm going to write f minus 1x. That confused you or you're good?
I'm good, sir.
All right, and that'll be x minus 3 over 9. Bam. That's it? We good. That's the answer.
We are good, sir. But why on my case, sir?
Why?
Why?
I know. I feel like you're taking it personally. I know on your case.
No, so I just joking. I just joking.
And besides, I is not a lawyer.
I don't believe that. I think so. I think so.
Yeah, I can't be a lawyer, so I can't be on the case.
I think you'll make a good lawyer.
Nah, I way too honest to be a good lawyer. I cannot be a lawyer.
So
Lawyer, the
you're
perfect liar.
saying you're bad at lying.
I'm very bad at lying. I'm an incredibly honest person. It
Hmm.
bad. It real bad. Like I can't lie for nothing. Right? Yeah. So Ria, did I confuse you at any point at all in this entire thing?
Nope. I understand. I just need to practice with it and I'll get it better.
Right. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, guys, ain't we said that f of x maps x onto y and the inverse would do the opposite? Let me just show you a proof, right? Proof of concept. Tavon, you there?
Yeah,
Yeah, dog. Give me a number. Give me a number.
45.
Okay. So just gone to 6, 7. How I mean going around now? Look again, I'm pretty sure I spelled concept correct.
Sure.
I
That's 617. I don't understand now.
I don't understand either. Apparently, it's from a song.
The
Yeah.
generation is
So,
stupid.
you could give you like about 6, 7 questions.
I feel so. I feel so. That was a good use of it. I can give only about 6, 7 questions. Right. So, Ria, remember
Yes.
at the start, I asked you what a function is, and we figure out what inverse function is. Let me
Yeah.
see if that makes sense. So, Tivon gave me a number, right? So, let me just call x 45. Say what, man? We take a number x is 45.
Yeah.
If x is 45 and I put it into the function, wouldn't I get a y value?
Yeah.
You're sounding confused. I probably. Why are you sounding confused? and 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 we went through that. Like if you plug something into a function, you get a y value.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Say with me.
Yeah.
All right. So the function here was 9x plus 3, right? So I want to put in x to get y. So I put in 45 into this. So you tell me what to write. So that'll be 9 by
45 plus 3. 45 bracket plus 3.
right. Let me see how good I is at mental maths. Somebody do it on a calculator. I think the answer will be 385. Wait, no. Uh, wait, I'll be 360, 405. No, 385. I think that's correct. Check it for me. So 40 by 9 is 360. Then 9 by 5 is 45. Well, again for that.
So it's 408.
408.
408? 408?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't believe that.
Yes, sir.
Because 9 by 45 is 4, 5, and then you add 3 for 8.
How will again 8? Oh, I doing this calculation alone, eh? 9 by 45. Yeah, you added 3 and you get 4 weights. Cool. Right. So everybody understand that the y value before weight. We good? Is there anybody confused about that? Who confused? If you
I
confused, all
actually kind of never mind. Actually, yeah, never mind.
right. So Perseus, I kind of shown you a proof of concept here, right? So Perseus, a regular function, you would put in x into the function and you get y, right? So Perseus, I just take a random value for x, I plug it in, and I get 408. Understand?
Yes, I understand. Actually, I think I need glasses. That is.
Oh, I have a spare, I'll give you it, right? So Let us observe what happened here. So using the original function, it carried us from 45 to 408. And that was the y value. Now, Ria, what did we say the inverse functioners do? If the original function takes in x and give you y, what does the inverse of that mean?
It is take y and give you x.
Yeah. So let's recall what the inverse function we got was. So we got yeah give me a moment. All right, cool. So Ria, you understand we got this for the inverse function, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
right. Now you just tell me if I put in y, I should get x cents.
yeah.
Let me see if that is the case. So if I put in the value for y, what's the value for y?
48,
If I put it in into this inverse function, what am I supposed to get?
45,
Let me see if that will work out. So 408 minus 3 all over 9, that's going to be 405 all over 9. What is 405 over 9?
45.
Yeah. Isn't that really cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope I can understand what's going on here now. So this is essentially what happened. So Perseus, and just saw that using the original function, we put in 45 and we get 408. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
So x was 45 and we get y to be 48. So the original function took us from x to y. Now, the inverse function should do the opposite, right? The inverse function should take us from y to x. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
So when I put in 48 into the inverse function, I get 45. So I go back to 45. And so I hope we understand everything here. We good? Tough crowd tonight, boy. Tough crowd tonight.
Yes, sir. I think so.
Killing the vibes, yes. Killing the vibes.
Yeah,
Like the
energy
vibes.
drain. I
The
hear you
vibe.
panting.
Yeah, boy. The vibes right now. I don't know what the vibes is at right now, yes.
The
I don't know.
panting, but I don't know. But I think is probably exam pressure. Cause we had exam just now too.
Yeah, we have exams. No, I see maths for something, but like the maths kinda this maths kinda
It,
it
it
making me use my
troubling.
brain. Making me use my brain.
Lana, Lana, man, Lana. Wait, what?
Yeah, boy, it's making me use my brain.
This man making it sound like the man trying to show off. The man making it sound like he don't use his brain to teach maths. Like, that normal?
It is become like second nature, but like this is new stuff now. So like look at all of these different forms. All of these is like different forms. Yeah, I don't know.
You stop scared this crowd, no man.
I just showing them how easy maths is right now. Like this stuff right now is like cake. It's like cake. This is not hard,
In the end,
right?
it ain't hard. No show people them hard stuff. You will demotivate them. Like,
I guess I might demotivate them. Ria, what do you want to do? Like profession wise, what you want to do?
So I didn't really figure that one out yet.
Lana, man, Lana.
You go figure it out, man. You go figure it out.
Even to this day, I don't know what the hell I want to do to it. But I'll figure it out.
Pilot. Remember, it's the one. Remember that
Everything.
remember the for the presentation. Remember how I talk about you being a pilot.
How the man. I forgot what the man said, but the man said some stupidness.
Yeah.
Because when you've been doing that, I've been saluting thing now. The man say, hey, boy.
All right. So here what? We're going to do a harder question. Right? It was about time. It was about time. I'm gonna finish at 7:15, right? Let me just do this question. So Perseus, like you say, I'm picking on your case. So I want you to pick somebody.
But boy, you just say that you ain't a liar while you're picking up the girl case.
No, I saying that, she said I'm picking on she case, so I want she to pick somebody now.
Oh gosh. So you're
Yeah,
transferring the liarism.
yeah. So
You go
Perseus, pick
post us.
somebody.
Okay, so Jada,
How
Jesus, man.
to get ups 101. Right. It is all start with this. Handy marker to somebody to do the question.
every every just going to say, boy, had the mark as somebody, boy. Now would I reach for me, you know?
All right.
Man,
Jada, Jada, you there? Wait,
Barely.
really? Okay. So Jada, you remember the general steps on how to find the inverse function?
Think so.
All right. So the first thing you gotta do, you gotta let f of x be y. First thing. So we're gonna do this question together. So let f of x be equal to y. So if I say that, what would this now become? That would become what? So anyway, you see f of x, just write y. Jada, I'm feeling like cliffhanger right now.
X x is equal to y minus 5 over 2.
Wait, we saying that f of x is y. Remember, Jada, when you put something into a function, let's get a y value. So we're gonna just instead of writing f of x, we're just gonna write y. So we're gonna say y is equal to x minus 5 over 2. I think you said x is equal to y something.
Yeah, I wrote y is what? I wrote x is equal to not
Oh, shucks.
not y is equal to.
But Jada, remember, and where does pay into a function? Where does pay into a function? At what value?
X
And you just get
x
what out? We just get out of it.
y.
Right. So f of x for the function, you get y. So that's what we see in f of x is y. Right? Next step, you want to
hold on.
swap x
Could
and y.
like we just do that for like Laplace and thing too.
Yeah,
Boy. I think if I could relate Laplace to this kind of concept, it might be a little more easier to
for
figure
sure.
out. Anyways, the way I do, man.
So Jira, continue. You want to swap x and y. So anyway you see x, write y. Anyway you see y, write x. Tell me what to write. This is your time to shine. Because you just
Oh,
not call it out.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Yeah, Jira. Come true.
x is equal to y minus 5 over 2.
Nice. Right. Jira, do we like working with fractions?
Not really, no.
Mm-mm. So you have two ways you can do this. You can either multiply both sides by 2, or you can cross multiply. What do you all prefer? Which method do you want to look at first? Cross multiplication or just multiplying throughout by 2? Jada, which one sounding easier? Multiplying everything by 2 or cross multiplying?
I feel like multiplying everything by 2 is easier.
Yeah. So do you think you understand why I want to multiply everything by 2? So I just tell you we hate working with fractions. What's the fraction in this question? Like so far, what fraction we have?
Y minus 5 over 2.
Right. So if I multiply this thing by 2, what's gonna happen with these two twos over here?
They would cancel out each other.
Right. And that will get rid of the fraction. But if you're doing something on one side, you have to do it on
The other side.
So Jada, if you get one, we got don't finish that, don't finish that, right? Don't finish that. Yeah. Right? In real world, that you don't want to be like that. Right? Jada, how come everybody's so like the vibes are real low tonight, boy? Like everybody's so uptight and quiet. I don't
Everybody tired.
boy. But the vibes are maintained somehow. Right? Whole day today I doing maths. Yeah. So I tired myself. I tired myself. I know that's a weird sentence to hear from her. You know I doing maths and I'm tired, but trust me, yeah, I feel tired. Yeah. So Jada, let me continue. All right. So we're gonna multiply everything by 2. If I multiply x by 2, what am I gonna get? Tell me, Jada.
2x
And if I multiply the right hand side by 2, what's that gonna be? Keep in mind what's gonna happen. We're gonna have y minus 5 all over 2 multiplied by 2. The 2 and the 2 gonna cancel off. So you're gonna end up with 2x is equal to what? So the 2 and the 2 cancel off. So forget about that. So what we have there, Jada,
y minus 5.
right? Now, you want to make y the subject of the formula, right? That's your main mission. You want to make y the subject. Make y the subject. So, Jada, if we're trying to make y the subject, where should it be? Should it be on the left-hand side or should it be on the right-hand side?
Left.
So what you could do is, if you want, you could take this and you could flip it. It's just inverted. So you could write y minus 5 is equal to 2x. Did I confuse you?
No.
All right, nice. What shouldn't be on the side? Come on, what shouldn't be?
Minus 5.
Yeah, the minus 5 shouldn't be on that side. So I had to move that across. If I move across minus 5, what am I going to turn to?
Plus 5.
Right, so we're going to end up with y is equal to what?
2x plus 5.
And the last thing, you want to write it in inverse function notation. So you see this y, we're going to write f inverse. You're going to write f inverse x, and that'll be equal to. So tell me, did I lose you anywhere?
No.
No? Okay. Ria, be honest with me, like, how lost are you? If lost
No,
at all.
I understand.
Okay, nice. Right, just to go over something, you see this part of the working over here, there's another way you could do it. You could also do it like this. Right, so you could say or, and you could cross multiply. If you were to cross multiply, I would write that as x over 1 is equal to y minus 5 all over 2. So I would cross multiply. So I would say, I would do this. All right, so let me show you how the cross multiplication would go. So Ria, you would say 1 by all of this. What is 1 by y minus 5? Max, I'm asking you this. What is 1 by 5?
5,
What is 1 by a million?
a million,
So what do you think 1 by this whole thing will be?
y minus 5,
Yeah, y minus 5. 1 by anything is itself, right? And over here is going to be x by 2. What is x by 2?
2x,
Right? Then you just move across the minus 5 and you get your answer. Which one you prefer, cross multiplication or multiplying both sides by 2? Which one?
multiplying both sides by 2.
Okay, no problem. Right? So that's it for the inverse function. So before we end class, let me just do a past paper question quickly so I'll go see how it is look like. Next class, are wrapping up functions, right? Wrapping up functions. So the only thing we have to do next for functions is composite functions, and that's it. We done. Ria, pick up past paper fast. Fast. Pick a year.
2021.
May, June, or January?
May, June.
Okay. Let me see what function questions we have over here. Let's see. Okay. Right. Let me see how hard this is. Right? Before we begin, Ria, do you think it's going to be that hard?
Maybe not.
We will see, right? So the first,
Yeah.
okay, so in this question, they're giving us two functions. They're giving us f of x and they're giving us g of x. Right. Now, in the first one, they want us to find f of 9. So which function do you think I should use? Do you think I should use f of x or g of x?
F of x.
Right? So anyway I see x, I'm going to write what?
9.
Where's that to the 9?
3.
Where's 3
No.
plus 4? You good? Where's 3 plus 4?
Okay. 7.
That's it. That's it. That was hard?
Oh.
How was
That was not hard at all.
That wasn't hard at all, right? Now, on to a trickier one, right? Let's look at a trickier question. And this is actually what I'll be starting next class, composite functions. So this one is fg a minus 3. Now, Ria, when you see that, you're probably feeling to jump off a building. Don't do that, eh? Don't do that. Don't jump off a building. But when you
Don't
see
do that.
don't do that, right? When you see that, hey Tivon, I was talking to some partners the other day in UWE and them was telling me how them was go up on top of the roof, the ceiling. What's the ceiling? The top now.
Place that okay.
Say that again?
The same place that have been showing me like if you say one day where I climb up it.
Yeah. Them was telling me how this
Yeah.
go up there.
We nah man with the hell I don't see nobody up there.
Yeah,
It probably does do it probably like does do, like when nobody did the at all, that it does reach like real old, probably like
yeah.
6 or 7 morning.
We go do
I
that.
mean I could right
We go
now
do
and
that.
look and
If midterm stressing me out too much, we go up there for a different reason, like to jump. Joking. We wouldn't jump. Life is too
ah,
precious. Life is too precious to do that. Yeah.
anyways.
Right. So, Ria, when you see this, it's like, oh my God, what is this about? I never see anything like this before. Whoa. And when you look at it, that's what you're thinking, like, what the hell is this?
A little bit, yeah.
So, Ria, and over here, you see in a function,
Yep.
that kind of crazy. So, let me show you how we're gonna attack this. So, is f g of minus 3. So, do you think g of minus 3 is something that we could find?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could find g of minus 3. We could do that. So, which function are we going to use for that? F or g?
G.
G, right? Anywhere I see x, I'm going to replace it for minus 3. So, g of minus 3 going to be 3 by minus 3 all over what?
Minus 3 plus 1.
Where's 3 by minus 3?
9.
Positive by negative, eh?
Negative 9.
And what is negative 3 plus 1? So,
Negative 2.
yeah, negative 2. Now we have a negative divided by a negative. You can think of it as the negatives would cancel off. So I would end up with what?
A positive.
Right? Positive 9 over 2. Was that hard?
Nope.
No, that wasn't hard. So stay with me. Stay with me. I showed you how easy it is to get mark in functions, right? Really easy to get marks in the function section. So we just now found for we just now found for g of minus 3. So here what I could do. You see how they had wrote fg of minus 3? Well, I could now write f of what? We just now found g of minus 3. So what I could write for that?
Minus 3.
So
Oh,
instead of writing g of minus 3, what I could write instead?
um,
Connect the dots.
f of minus 3?
No.
Or
What we just want to do?
f of 7?
Nah. Bria, what we just want to do? We just not found for what?
G of minus 3?
So instead of writing g of minus 3, what I could write in place of that?
All right, 9 over 2.
What looking easier? Tell me what looking simpler to solve? This or this?
The one on top.
The one on top. This one?
Yeah.
And you know how to hard. You sure? This looking simpler in my opinion. Because like Ria. And look at the first question, for instance, and this was easy.
Yeah.
What if I tell you
Yeah.
that we just know you see this over here? That's the exact same thing as the first one. Watch. It really have a difference. So Ria, let me just go over what I did, right? So they wanted me to find fg of minus 3. So I found g of minus 3 and it was 9 over 2. So in other words, fg minus 3 means f of 9 over 2. So what function we could, and what's the final function I have to use now to find the answer,
F of x.
right? So anywhere I see x, what am I going to write?
9 over 2.
Yeah. So that'll be a third 9 over 2 plus 4. Where's 1 by 9?
9.
3 by 2
6.
plus 4, right? So your final answer, you could write your answer as an improper fraction, a mixed number if you want. You probably shouldn't write it as a decimal because you'd have to round off. What the exact answer? So if you combine this, and the exact answer would be, that would be, I think it's 33 over 6. But somebody just confirm that. Confirm that. And if you write it as a mixed number, I think that should be 5.5. But just confirm that. Let me just double check that. 6, 6. Could somebody just confirm these answers? 9 over 6 plus 4. Put that into your calculator. Wait again. A little leave them hanging here, boy. Ria, wait again. 9 over 6 plus 4.
So, I work at all.
All right. All right, anybody else got 33 over 6 or 5.5?
Yes, boy, I'm struggling.
Yeah, boy. Tell you things real quiet tonight.
I'm
Yes, sir.
struggling.
Okay, nice. So that was it. What do you think about that, Ria? Do you think it's like hard or like manageable?
Manageable.
For sure. Right? And that is 9 marks you could get. There's 9 marks you could get. So let me just answer the last question. Determine the value of x for which g of x is 5 over 2. Okay. So remember, g of x was equal to 3x all over x plus 1. Yeah. And that was the case, Ria.
Yeah.
And they want us to find the value of x. Find the value of x. Right? And they are telling us that g of x is what? What is g of x?
5 over 2.
So what could replace g of x with?
5 over 2.
Yeah. 5 over 2. Now we have two fractions, so we should cross multiply here. If I cross multiply, tell me what you get. So we can multiply this by this first. So where's 2 by 3x?
6x.
And what about 5 by x plus 1?
5x plus 1.
Now, you multiply everything by 5. So 5 by x
Oh,
is 5x
5.
plus 5.
5.
You want to make x the subject. So you see this 5x over here? It shouldn't be there. It should be on the other side. So 6x minus 5x is equal to positive 5. What is 6x minus 5x?
1.
Right? 1x.
1x.
And for 1x, I could just write x.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is, and it over, just have 1x over there. Yeah. X by itself is just 1x. Right? So 6x minus 5x is x. X is equal to 5. What do you think about that? Easy or hard?
Easy.
Yeah, so this CXC thing, or they could pass it, man. Or they could get through. Right? So yeah, that's it for class today. I will send this question. I will send the notes plus this question. And for homework, I'll give you all a past paper question. Right? So thanks for coming to class today, even though I didn't talk much. I appreciate it. Right? So I'm gonna leave the meeting running. If you want to continue along with the Form 5 session, you could stay. If not, adios. So yeah. Later, everybody, well, that in Form 4. I'm not gonna end the meeting. I'm just gonna have it here. So you can leave if you want. Right? Form 5 class gonna start in 7 minutes.
Well, this thing you tell me some nonsense, really.
What going on?
I try to blaze through circuits here, so I
Wait,
think
the
I forgot
recording. You better tell them, pause the recording.